Everyone. It is my pleasure to introduce today's distinguished speaker, Mr. Venkata Reddy Konasani, for a session on smart resume writing. Venkata Reddy Konasani is a seasoned data science professional, author, and corporate trainer with a strong background in data science, machine learning, and artificial intelligence. An alumnus of IIT Bombay, he has worked as a data scientist at top global firms like Citi, HSBC, and HP, where he led projects in predictive analytics, credit risk modeling, and business intelligence. He has authored two well known books: Practical Business Analytics Using SAS and ML and DL using Python and TensorFlow. He also runs popular YouTube channel Venkatareddy AI Classes, where he simplifies complex AI and data science topics for students and professionals. With thousands of subscribers and millions of views, his content ranges from Python and Power BI to generative AI and large language models. In his corporate career, he has trained over 5,000 professionals across 200 plus batches. I request all the participants to please join me in welcoming Mr. Venkatareddy sir for this session.
Thank you for the detailed introduction. Today we are going to discuss ATS friendly resume preparation. Do you know what is ATS? Anybody? The full form of ATS? ATS is very famous, especially when you are getting into these placements or when you are uploading your resume onto any of the portals. Can somebody tell me what ATS exactly means? So
Application tracking system.
that is true. So application tracking system. For example, right now, let's say there are 30 openings in, let's say, Cognizant. Now, for 30 openings, the number of applications that they receive sometimes ranges from 3,000 to maybe 30,000. So, for filling 30 openings, if they receive 30,000 resumes or applications, it's almost impossible for a human being or a team to go through all these CVs. Most of them may not be eligible to apply for this job, or maybe a lot of them are eligible, but we do not really want to hire them due to certain lack of skill set or something. So most of the companies or the consultancies, what they do is they use this ATS application tracking system to shortlist the candidates. Now, this ATS is either AI made or some rule based. This is not a human being. So we have to prepare our resume in such a way that ATS finds it easy so that our resume gets shortlisted. So I will tell you some of the tips and tricks that we use for our students from past 10 years. I'm into training. I have helped a lot of people to get into their dream roles, mostly to data science, machine learning related roles. But usually resume preparation almost remains same for other roles as well. So the things that have worked for us earlier, we used to do those mistakes few years back. Now we have implemented few of the tips and tricks that have worked for us. I will try to share them with you. Maybe you can apply your own tips and tricks and you can use these some of the pointers that I'm giving here to help you to get selected by this ATS application tracking system. I'm going to cover some of the detailed points. We will get into these 6 points which you must keep in mind when you are preparing. Some of you might be already taking care of these, all 6 points. Some of you might be already aware of these three. Some of you might be aware of 1 or 2 points. Let us see what are those. First of all, on your CV, let us suppose you have applied for a job. On your CV, there must be some standard headings. Use standard selection headings. So anybody can write, let's say, profile summary or summary. But instead of that, if you write any other term, maybe the ATS may not be aware of that. They may mean the same thing, summary or my objective or overall or what my experience is. Like that, you have written a different word. Still, that is accurate in terms of it is just a synonym of the summary, but try to use these common headings, and I have listed some of the common headings because application tracking system is looking for the sections, and when it is looking for certain sections, it is searching for certain type of headings. So somebody might write his profile summary here, someone else might write the profile summary here, maybe in some other resume the profile summary may be somewhere over here. So ETS is looking for that precise heading. So try to use commonly used standard headings like summary, profile, skills. So if you want to mention your skills, whatever skills that you have, those you have to mention under the section skill, core competencies or the tools that you can say, or the programming languages, work experience if you have any internship work experience, education, certifications, etc. So try to use these common terms. You think that you are feeding a system some of the common terms, you are telling the system, this application tracking system, that if you're looking for this particular information, you will find it under this section. So you must always keep in mind the standard headings. At least these headings should be there on your resume. Or you can also go to ChatGPT and search for what are some of the standard headings that are tracked by ATS. You can include the rest of them as well. But usually these are sufficient. So that is point number one. I'm going to share this PPT also with you. You can make some pointers later on. You can add from your own experience, from your own research as well. Are you with me? Have you understood this, all of you? Shall we go ahead to the next one? Any questions on this? All right. The next one is, this is not particularly for ATS. This is for the regular human beings. Let's say if you are attending the campus interview, or if you are attending, or if you have submitted your application to a consultancy and they have received multiple applications, they may not have the time to go through the complete resume that you have submitted. They would like to quickly get to know about your profile. So always make sure that you are having a profile summary section. This you must not miss. For example, to go through your complete resume, whatever you have written, it takes, let's say, 5 minutes for me. You should always prepare a 30-second summary. That will be your profile. So your profile summary, if I am spending minimum amount of time, but if I want to know completely about you, what are those 4 or 5 or maybe 6 points that you want to tell about yourself so that we can hire you, that you have to highlight. I'll tell you my own experience. When I was working for HSBC, we went to hire from a particular college. Now, when we reach that college, we have been given one session, morning session. So 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., we have to wrap up everything, the interviews, everything. Okay. But the applications that we received are somewhere around 300 plus. The positions that we are hiring are 4 positions. So we want to hire 4 campus hires, and the applications that are eligible, applicants that are eligible are 300. Now, if you ask me honestly, the resume size was so lengthy. Some of the students have given us resume of 2 pages, 3 pages also. But we gave ourselves around 30 minutes time to shortlist these resumes. So the only thing that we could do was whomsoever has introduced their profile summary very well. So that we could read quickly. The remaining students also we have kind of shortlisted, but it was very easy for a recruiter to go through your profile summary. And if that summary is very well mentioned, if it really summarizes your overall skill set, then it would be a very good add-on point. Especially this is not from ATS point of view. This is from the regular hiring point of view. From ATS point of view, you may want to highlight the skills and the tools in that profile summary. So that is the second point. Always include profile summary. The third point, which looks like a very simple point, but this has a very huge impact. What is it? Like when we are writing our project, since we have done that project and internship, we will have very good knowledge about it. Every acronym that we are using, every word, every term that we are using, we will be very much aware of those terms. And we write those terms, we write that project explanation in our own language. But what happens is the person who is going through this project explanation, maybe your capstone project, maybe your internship, the person who is going through it, he may not have the background of the project that you have done. So write your project details very clearly. Assume that the reader has no idea on your project. You have to combine your project terminology with the regular outside world terminology and try to write it in such a way that people without the background also can understand your project and internship. So try to write, use the action verbs, like what are the skills that you have used? What are the outcomes? How did you really solve a particular problem? What are the different tools that you have used? What are the different programming languages that you have used? And this is very important. Use both acronyms as full forms. For example, you said that I have written something on SEO. It's good to write SEO as well as its full form, search engine optimization, like that. So try to use acronyms as well as full form so that ATS, application tracking system, it may, let's say, if somebody has programmed it to pick the acronyms, short forms, it will pick that. If somebody has programmed it to pick particular keywords, then it will pick the keywords as well. So while writing the project description, try to use the terminology that is there in the outside world. Maybe try to use either ChatGPT or Gemini to rewrite your project in multiple ways and try to find that finest version where everybody can understand with full reach of keywords in each of the project. Is that understood? Am I making sense until now? Are you with me, everyone? Shall I go ahead to the next point? Yep. Okay. The next one is uh, this is a little important, especially since you are a fresher. There is a tendency that I have observed whenever we are hiring freshers in my past experience. We have seen that people tend to mention as many words or as many terms, as many tools as possible on their CV, thinking that they will have higher chance of getting picked up. But the thing is, many a times what happens is somebody has written something over here. I have gone through this project. I have attended this particular class called stochastic process. I have also attended the class called data mining or machine learning or computer vision or something. But if we question them anything on it, let's say here you have written there is computer vision that you have attended this certification course. Can you tell us something about it? Can you tell what are the models that you have used? Then they will say that I have attended, but I'm not very confident about it. Now you have to avoid such things where if you are not completely sure about a certain topic or term or a tool or a programming language or anything, try not to mention it. Try to use the terms that you are completely aware of. The best thing would be you prepare your CV and then you try to ask the questions, straight, obvious questions. Let's say you have written one point, attended so and so workshop, conducted this, and learned this. Try to ask a question to yourself, like if somebody asks me a question on this, what did you do here? What is the outcome? What is this project about? Do you have the answer? So for everything that you have written on your CV, make sure that you question yourself. And if you have the answer for that question, then only you keep it. For something that you have written, if I ask very obvious question, if you do not have the answer, try not to mention it. It's better to ignore what we do not know and keep only things that we are 100% sure of. Okay. So what you must do is you take your own CV and try to put yourself in the shoes of the recruiter. Imagine you are the recruiter. Try to ask around 50 to 100 questions, very much customized to your own CV. These questions should come only related to your CV. And if you have answers to them, if you have answers to these questions, automatically you will step into an interview room with a lot of confidence. I have seen a lot of people when they are getting into an interview, they feel very nervous. We feel very nervous when we are not really confident of what the preparation that we have done. And for these kind of interviews, there is no structured preparation. If we are attending an exam, competitive exam, if we have prepared very well, then usually we'll be very confident and the syllabus is some kind of fixed. But here in an interview, we do not really know the syllabus or anything. So the best way to be very confident in an interview is you take a printout of your own CV and make sure that you are writing your own questions related to the CV, whatever is the question, from very basic question to very complex question, and be ready with those answers. Then you will be very much confident. I would like to share one general tip with you. It may not be related to application tracking system, but it is generally related to the regular interviews. When you are attending an interview in a company, most often what happens is the manager that he is trying to hire you, they may come to the interview room with a printout of your resume. Now, what you must do is, since all of you are from college, most of you will have good vision. That means the small characters also you can read very clearly. But people who are hiring you, your managers and so on, they may be 40 plus. Usually what happens is uh, people cannot see very clearly after 40 plus. Automatically there will be some vision related issues. So make sure that you're printing your CV and it is visible. Try to use try slightly larger size. Maybe try to go with 11 or 12 rather than 8 or 9 size. Okay. Even the fonts also, try go for such fonts which are easy to read for elderly people also. Try not to go with too many colors, because sometimes when they're taking the resume printout, not every time they may take a color printout. If they're taking a black and white printout, how does that appear? That also you have to be careful with. Maybe you, once you prepare your CV, make sure that you take the grayscale image of the CV, and then if it is clearly readable, then you can upload it. So this kind of, these are practical things. Nobody will come and tell us, but sometimes what happens is we will be wondering, I have better skill set than this guy. I have a better CGPA than this guy. I have better project than this guy. Why my CV was not selected? Why this CV got selected? Then the answer is not in the content of the CV, but the kind of what do you call, the way, the format that we have used, that is not in the right format. Are you with me, everyone? Am I making sense? Next thing that you should mention always is the skills and tools. There must be always a separate section for this, skills and tools. Make sure that if you want your resume to be selected by ATS, application tracking system, there must be these two sections or one section where you are clearly telling bullet points. These bullet points must be there. No matter what you have written here, it will be difficult for ATS to get that. But if you're writing these bullet points, then it will be easy for the ATS to pick whatever the skill, whatever the tool that you want to show, whatever skills that you want to show. Make sure that you are having two sections of bullet points where you are clearly trying to mention these are the skills and tools. Maybe if you are from data science or machine learning or computer science background, you may want to mention the programming languages like C, C++, or Java, JavaScript, or R, or Python. Or maybe if you are showing machine learning or generative AI, try to mention all those skills and tools like TensorFlow, everything in a separate section. If you're thinking that I have already mentioned it here, this may not be, this is kind of combined with the rest of the text, but there must be a separate section here. Make sure that you have a dedicated section for skills and tools. Okay. As I told already about the format, usually there is a temptation that I want to write as much as possible on my CV. But if you see all the standard CVs, all the professional CVs, even though somebody has 20 years of experience, they still be preparing one pager only. Imagine that the other person who's trying to hire you may not have a lot of time to go through your CV because it's not only one person's CV, they will be going through multiple CVs. So try to limit your CV into one page. That itself is a skill. How do you show all the information that you have without any loss of information? How do you show maximum amount of information on one page? One page is preferred, but if you feel that one page is too small, then you can go for two pager. But the standard, the world standard that we follow professionally is one pager. And try to avoid long paragraphs. Let's say something like this should be avoided. Even if you want to write it, try to write it in 4 or 5 bullet points. Try to use bullet points. Bullet points are picked up by application tracking system rather than paragraphs. What happens is sometimes we upload the .pdf format. That .pdf will be in turn converted into text. There will be some kind of softwares that will convert PDF into text. Now, if you have a paragraph while converting from PDF to text, there may be some loss of information or misinterpretation of the information. To avoid that, it's better to use bullet points. And let us suppose if I want to put on my CV that I have a Python skill set, I have R programming language, I have C++, I have a ML skill set also, I have computer vision as well as a TensorFlow. Sometimes what I have seen is to make this look good, I have seen some people keeping some images or icons. So let's say C++ icon, some kind of Python icon, some people will keep. And then let us suppose some icon for machine learning, maybe some form of this machine learning icon, some form of this computer vision icon, or something like that, maybe some neural network icon. Now, these icons look good when you have CV, but there is no way an application tracking system will understand these icons. So try to avoid tables. Tables cannot be read by application tracking system. Totally avoid them. Try to avoid a lot of columns. Try to avoid a lot of icons or graphics. Try to keep everything text maximum. Within text only, you try to show the variation. If you ask me, even these lines that you see, those can also be ignored. If you ask me, let's say, for the email, this email icon is there and then the email is given. Instead of saying this, it's better to write email. That is better. It may not look good, but it will make application, it will be easy for application system to track it. Phone icon is there and phone number is there. Better to write phone or cell like that so that the application tracking system will pick it easily. Try to avoid headers and footers anyway. A lot of people do not use them. Okay. And what I have observed recently is everybody is literally using ChatGPT. They're filling all the information and ChatGPT is giving the output and people are just using that CV. Now it has become a headache for the companies or for recruiters to find out which one is genuine, which one is ChatGPT generated. So you try to avoid direct copy pasting from ChatGPT. You take help, but the final version should be handwritten by you. You have to take help of any other large language model, anything, but make sure that you are the person who is creating your final CV. You are the real owner who's owning this. Otherwise, there are like if somebody is using ChatGPT very frequently, they will easily get to know which one is ChatGPT generated text, which one is actually human written text. Okay. So try to understand from ChatGPT, but try to avoid direct copy pasting it, word to word copy. Got it? And then I will try to give you, let's say, if you are applying in the campus, well and good. But if you are applying outside the campus, if you want to maximize the number of calls, I will give you a certain trick. Upload your CV at least in top 10 job sites. This is one trick that has helped our students very well. What we tend to do is we tend to upload it in Naukri and leave it. A lot of times that is what people do it. But now I'll tell you the other side of the story. You are a candidate who is trying to apply for a job as a candidate, applying on Naukri looks very comfortable to you because Naukri is one of the largest forum. But if you are a recruiter or if you are a consulting company that is helping the larger companies to hire, let's say if IBM is there, for IBM, there will be so many other consulting companies that will help them to get hired. These consulting companies create login ID on Naukri. On Naukri, creating a recruiter ID is very costly. I think it will run into lakhs and lakhs. So what these consultancy companies do is they look for alternatives. Now they may look for like compared to Naukri, Monster is cheaper, compared to Monster, Times Jobs is cheaper. So they may search for profiles on these websites. So what I'll tell you is upload your profile on Naukri for sure, but try to upload at least on 9 other jobs websites like Naukri, Monster. Look for what are the top 10 job sites. And I have seen some companies totally hire from a particular website only. IAM jobs, let's say, if you ask me, Citibank used to take a lot of candidates from this particular website called IAM jobs portal because the quality of the resumes used to be very good over there, and the backend interface was also very neat and clean. So we used to shortlist profiles a lot from IIM jobs. Some of you might not even know that there is this website that exists for getting the job. So try to upload your CV onto at least 10 job sites. This will also help you in your CV spreading into multiple consultancy companies. Once your CV gets into this consultancy company's hand, it will be their job to find a job for you. And try to update your CV. For example, if a consulting firm comes to Naukri and when they search for candidates, there will be so many candidates. They will arrange them. They will sort these results on last updated date. Let us suppose I am looking to hire people with machine learning skill. For machine learning, I can see that there are 5,000 profiles that are fulfilling my criteria. Now, these 5,000 profiles will be sorted based on the last update date. Let's say somebody has updated the CV 2 years back. Obviously, that person may not be looking for a job right now, so that person will be ignored. So, if you're really actively looking for a job, daily 1 or 2 changes, or maybe every 2, 3 days, you want to make a small change so that the recruiter will get to know that the last update date is this week only, they may call you. Okay. And when you are uploading your CV on every website, your profile must say 100% complete. People think that I will upload my CV that is done and dusted. But apart from uploading the CV, there will be several other sections. If you upload your CV, I think 20% or 25% is done. Remaining 75% is the other sections. So until unless it says 100% complete, the uploading is not yet done. And I think you're already doing it. You create a LinkedIn profile, try to keep it updated because nowadays companies are checking your LinkedIn profile as well to see whether you are a real person or not, because there is a lot of fake profile that is there. Those are circulating in the market. They want to validate before hiring a candidate. So you may want to create a LinkedIn profile quickly. So these are some of the tricks that may help you. I'm not saying that these are the rules that you must follow. What I'm saying is these are some of the tricks that have helped our students very well, and they have increased the chances. Maybe they have doubled the chances compared to other regular applications. I will share some of the resources that I have with me. Maybe you can use them if at all, if you're looking for some. So everybody can design their own resume or CV, but it is good to take it from world-class designers. Definitely, if you see some of the designs from Microsoft or Canva, we are sure that they are not designed by any regular person. People who have studied design, people who have studied color theory and all of that, they might have designed these resumes. So usually they are kind of universally accepted. So instead of designing your resume on your own from the scratch, you may want to use some of the templates that are there on Canva. So these are the templates on Canva. The one that you like, you can, let's say, this is the one, maybe this is something that is looking very simple for me, or maybe I can search. So try to use already given designs, already given colors, so that you are kind of you just filling your information. Usually these are application tracking system friendly. Whatever application tracking system is looking for, those are already taken care in these kind of CVs. Okay. And the colors that they use are also somewhat universally accepted professional colors only. Okay. Because we ourselves, we may be good at our own field, but we may not be good at a design. Not everybody knows the design technology. So try to use already given templates, that is Canva. If you're using Microsoft Word, so how do you do that? You open Word. In that, in the beginning itself, you have this new. Here, if you go there and you have already some templates, search for online templates. And if you search resume and cover letters, or you can also search resume. These are some of the resume templates that are ready-made, which you may want to use. Let's say this is something that I want to modify. So if I say create, it'll look like this. So definitely we will not use this one. We will try to use, let's say again, I'll go to new and then I will say resume. Within this, I will try to select something that suits our requirement. You got the point, right? What I'm trying to say is try to use the designs that are already done by professionals and then try to modify them further. Maybe take that as the base. From there, you can make the improvisation. These are some of the resources for resumes. Now, if you are like, this is about the resume, if you're preparing for interviews, there's one thing that I have seen, like as a recruiter, when we were hiring for our company, I have seen a lot of guys with good talent, with a good understanding of the subject, and they also were academically good. They have failed an interview in when it comes to HR questions or attitude related questions. I have seen a lot of students, especially at the student level, they are very good with their subject. But when it comes to HR questions, let's say if we ask him a question, where do you want to see yourself in next 5 years? Then one of the student told that I want to get as much salary as possible. But those are like totally unprepared answers. So those kind of things will not go well in terms of attitude when somebody is really trying to judge you. So you may want to prepare very well when it comes to attitude, behavioral or HR related questions as well. Let's say if we ask the question, what is your greatest weakness? Now the answer to that, we should not tell our real weakness. We should tell one of the positive thing as the weakness. Okay. Let's say if somebody says, what is your greatest weakness? If we are saying that from morning to evening, I'm totally kind of addicted to my phone. I watch my phone 5, 6 hours every day. Now that may be a fact, but we should not say that in the interview. The weakness should be like we must say that I'm a perfectionist. When I get into something, until unless that is completed, that work is completed, I cannot focus on anything else. So I focus a lot on the work. Even though that is a kind of weakness, that kind of sounds positive for those kind of HR questions also. So I have given the interview questions. So we run DV analytics. In that, we train our students when they go and give an interview, they get the questions. So over the past 10 to 15 years, whatever the questions, these are all the questions related to data science only, mostly data science, machine learning, artificial intelligence. So all the questions that they received, so we made a repository, especially people who are into CSC or AI or machine learning. So for those, these kind of resources will be very useful. So I have given all the questions that were asked to our students. What are the questions that were asked in business analyst interviews, and what are the common HR related questions, machine learning related questions, all those things that I have mentioned here. I have also given a link of what are all the job openings right now on Naukri related to this data science. So if you go to this resource, this is like a very detailed explanation of how you should approach an interview from the interview point of view. Let's say some of the common questions. Usually, when you go through this question, they look very simple. But if we are unprepared, that might decide our overall job. Tell me something you did or failed to do that you feel a little ashamed of. Now, what is a trap from the psychology point of view? What is the best answer? What is the example? So these are the things that I have included so that you can try to answer them in a perfect manner. Sometimes there will be a silent treatment. When they are taking the interview, suddenly they will stop talking. Suddenly, nothing happens for 30 seconds or 1 minute. At that time, what are you doing? Are you acting funny or something? So, what are the traps? What is the best answer? And how do you answer all those things? I have included it in this one. HR questions, business analyst interview questions. And if you click on this, this is the location. So list of jobs on Naukri immediately that are available. So you can see nearly there are 1,61,000 jobs that are related to data science, which you can apply, try to apply for as many jobs as possible. So these are some of the resources. As I told you, I am going to share this PPT with you. If somebody is looking for these resources, downloading them, you can go through them. Finally, what I would say is, apart from the regular preparation, the soft skill and attitude is also very much important. Make sure that you are showing the right positive attitude. If you do not know the answer, it is perfectly fine to say, sorry, no, I do not know the answer. If somebody says, what, you don't even know that, then you say that, okay, right now I'm not able to recollect. Maybe I am ready to learn. So try to sound as much positive as possible. You have to somehow showcase that you are here to learn and understand and give your best. Now, what I would say is, it is not possible for somebody to give their best shot in the first interview itself. So the trick that we generally use for our students, what we do is, initial days, no matter what is the profile, even the profile is not related to you, even the profile is loosely related to you. Let's say you're applying for the job of a data scientist, but the profile says that we are looking for Excel data entry guys only. Definitely, this Excel data entry is not the right profile. We are looking for a maybe 15 LPA package, but this Excel data entry is just 3 LPA. Definitely, we will not join this particular job. But what we still say is, you go ahead and give the interview there, because in the first interview you will be nervous. In the first interview you will be struggling to explain your project. In the first interview you will not be really feeling perfectly 100% confident when you are explaining the project. So you can use these small job interviews as your real practice pitches, and then once you give 4 5 such interviews, the best interview could be the fifth or the sixth one. So better to give as many interviews as possible. Try to apply even for loosely related jobs. Apply for as many jobs as possible. As I have shown you, there are 1,61,000 jobs are there: junior female architect, digital marketing strategist. Even though you're not eligible for it, you go ahead. Let's say 10 to 15 lakhs per annum. You tell them, even if they say that you're not really eligible for this, your profile doesn't suit, you say that I can try it. Okay. Data analyst, off role, reception administrator, data engineer. So whatever is related, well and good. Even though if it is not related, go ahead and give it. What that will do is, that will help you to practice. Maybe your fifth or sixth interview, you will give your best sort of explanation, your best confident way of speaking. Where you are lagging, all of those you will understand yourself when you're giving as many interviews as possible. So that is it from my side. These are some of the tips and tricks practically that have worked for our students. This is nothing fancy. These are very simple, but we have to be aware of this. That is it from my side. I will now open the forum for questions.
Anybody has any questions, students?
Any general questions are also fine that you would like to know. All right, then if you have any questions, you can reach out to Naidu sir. Yeah, please go ahead.
Sir, I had a question. It was a little off topic from the.
No problem. Carry on.
Sir, I've been having some interest in data science and machine learning related stuff.
Mm.
So, is there any way we can get like direct guidance from your side because you have a lot of experience in this field and we're freshers right now?
So I think guidance in the sense like if you want to get into that field, so I'll quickly tell you data science and machine learning. What appears to us is machine learning. Behind the scenes, there are multiple phases. Like there is something called data management, where you will be covering Excel and SQL, and then data visualization, Power BI, Tableau, and then programming Python, and then the machine learning, deep learning, generative AI. These things come. So you have to learn in a very structured manner, then you will see the success. Maybe as of now, I can suggest my YouTube channel. Once you go through that, you may get a lot of resources. So you go to Venkat Reddy AI classes on YouTube. You will find a lot of videos.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Venkat Reddy AI classes, YouTube. In that, like once you start going through them, so this is the channel. So literally you will find all the, like once you go to playlist, you'll find all those stages that I have mentioned here. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Good evening, sir. Thank you
Yeah.
so much for all the insights.
Yeah.
Sir, is there any guidance that you could provide for jobs abroad? Any way we need to modify the CV or anything like that if you're
See,
applying abroad?
good question. The jobs that we get abroad, there's a totally different approach that they follow when it comes to India. In India, we take a candidate, let's say we take our resume and then we apply for multiple jobs. But in abroad, what happens is there will be consultancy companies that will take the candidate resume, and then that resume they will supply it to each and individual company one by one. And in abroad, most of the jobs happen through referrals. So if you are really looking for a job in abroad, you always have to look for a connect. Let's say right now, if I want to get a job in UK, let's say there is a company called State Street, let's say in Poland, then I have to find a connect in Poland who's working in that company, State Street, and then through him only I can apply. So on LinkedIn, whichever company that you're looking for, you have to find a contact, and then approach them, explain them your profile, and show that you're an authentic person. Maybe through another contact, try to get in touch with them. Then only it happens. Everything happens through referrals over there. More
Oh,
than 90% of the times, it happens through referrals.
okay, sir. Thank you so much. Sir, would there be any links or something like that that we could refer to apply abroad?
Uh, there will not be any links once again. See, it's like in India, if you apply in Naukri, companies come and search for the candidates, right? But when it comes to abroad, I think I would say the best option is LinkedIn only. Or you can search for some of the consultancy companies in abroad, not the actual hiring companies, the companies that provide candidates to hiring companies. To them, you can actually apply. Otherwise, portals, job portals are very less famous over there.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Any other questions from the audience? All right. Thank you so much, sir, for such an insightful tips on resume writing. Thank you,
Thank you.
everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great weekend.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Excuse me.
Tell me, Simran.
Ma'am, if we had to get in touch with sir regarding any other questions in future, is there a way
We'll
apart
share
from
your
LinkedIn?
LinkedIn profile. We'll share it
Okay,
in our class groups.
okay.
All right.
Ma'am, sometimes it's difficult for them to go through our messages because there's so many people messaging them on LinkedIn. So, is it allowed for you to share the mail ID or any other form of contact?
Sure, Simran, we'll do that.
Okay, thank you so much.
All right.